What's going on, Summoners? Welcome back to another ProGuides video. I'm Kangas, and like always, we got a preview for the upcoming changes for patch 11.18. This current patch still has plenty of life left in it. However, if you need some excitement in your life, you should definitely stick around because this next patch also looks crazy. Also, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel because we'll drop the full set of changes as soon as we can. But for now, let's get into the preview. The first change we'll talk about are the upcoming buffs for systems. Predator as well as Umbral Glaive are both receiving buffs next patch. Currently underused, Predator serves a purpose as a niche rune, however its lack of popularity has likely prompted a need for the buffs. And once again, we can expect to see junglers, or just players who love to roam, running the marathon across Summoner's Rift. And following some changes to AD Assassin itemization last patch, Umbral Glaive is also up for a buff. This item has also been under-purchased when compared to its competition like Serpent's Fang and Yomu's Ghostblade. It just kind of feels lackluster. My guess is it'll receive some stat buffs to make it more appealing of a purchase. So if Assassins still worry you, make sure to check out ProGuides.com where we got plenty of coaches who can help you build a game plan to take them on. Anyway, I'm excited about this one specifically because Support Pantheon might just be back if this buff is big enough. But now I'll admit that the buffs are what's exciting about next patch, but let's save those for last and begin with the nerfs. There's a decent number of upcoming nerfs to Affelios, Ashe, Jace, Callista, Lee Sin, Renekton, Thresh, Trundle Support, and Varus all being up on the block. A lot of these picks might have you scratching your head, because like, what, another Renekton nerf? Was Jace even good to begin with? And yeah, while their win rates in solo queue were lackluster, a lot of these picks have been popping off in competitive play specifically. For example, while Renekton only holds a 47% win rate in solo queue, in only the last week, he was picked up a ton in the last major leagues, such as LCK, LEC, LPL, and LCS championships, as well as several of the other smaller leagues. The most impressive competitive stat he holds is that he's been banned more than 1,300 times this split. That is insane. These upcoming patches are an attempt at fine-tuning the game for Worlds, so expect them to be more catered towards competitive play instead of just solo queue. Trundle Support is another champion that follows this trend, as he's seen plenty of picks and bans across several regions playoffs. That aside, we do have nerfs for Thresh, Lee Sin, and Ashe, who are definitely still OP. These champions continue to perform a little too well, and since they were the most played and arguably the strongest picks in their respective roles, they receive nerfs but haven't really given up their footing. More nerfs are coming up, and I'm curious what the specifics will be this time. Again, we'll inform you as soon as we have key numbers to talk about. Affelios and Varus are also getting nerfed next patch, as both of these marksmen have seen an incredible amount of competitive play this split. Even if you don't think that they're warranted for solo queue, they're both valued incredibly high at the top level. For reference, Varus currently holds a 64% presence in competitive play. To put a big number on it, he's been picked over 1,000 games and also banned around the same number. Pretty insane considering he was one of the weakest picks earlier in the season. And now Affelios isn't banned as often, but he's still been picked about 700 times, which is still very impressive. Finally, let's talk about the most important changes, the buffs. Here's a thick, and by thick I mean 2 C's, a list of champions getting buffed next patch. Dr. Mundo, Draven, Fizz, Gangplank, Jinx, Kai'Sa, Karma, AP Kog'Maw, Lilia Jungle, Misfortune, Morgana, Kiana Jungle, Rumble, Singed, Soraka, Talia, Talon Jungle, Twitch, Urgot, Yone, Yuumi, Zed Jungle, and Zoe. Next patch is bound to be chaotic, just because of the sheer number of changes alone. Some of these are particularly notable ones though, as Gangplank, for example, has been suffering this patch. A lot of high elo players I know are saying that he's busted, but his win rate has plummeted to 42%. Now, he did receive incredible late game compensation, but getting there is much harder now, as his Q counts as a ranged attack alongside some of the other small nerfs that he received. The changes this patch were supposed to be a neutral shift of power, but that really hasn't been the case, and Riot is readjusting him next cycle. Jinx, Kai'Sa, Twitch, and Draven are all receiving buffs to add some more variety to the bottom lane, and this will help out a big chunk of the player base, but most importantly, I'm praying that it diversifies the AD carry meta competitively. I really don't want another Worlds where there's only like 3 marksmen in every single game. Oh, and by the way, Twitch, Kai'Sa, and Jinx all currently hold a below 50% win rate, which is kinda surprising given that they've all had some pretty powerful moments at certain points during the season. Buffing these champions should hopefully allow for more diversity in the bot lane, but of course a nerf to Ashe will help there too. Then there's the jungle buffs as well. Once again, Riot's just trying to diversify the jungle meta by buffing off picks like Kiana, Talon, and even Zed. Also, Lilia is up for a jungle buffs, and she's starting to see more and more play in solo lanes, so that's getting kind of dangerous. We might have another Flexiwig monster on our hands, but at the moment, Lilia jungle underperforms quite a bit, so these buffs might help her out. Players will just be more incentivized to lock her in as a jungler rather than a counter pick to these melee top laners. But that'll wrap up our patch preview. Hope you're excited as I am for patch 11.18, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What are changes that you wanted to see, or maybe ones that you see and disagree with? Anyway, that's it for the video, so best of luck on the Rift, everybody. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you in the next one.